Canaanites who roasted their infants to Baal and Moloch at least had the honesty to admit they were feeding a bloodthirsty deity according to their twisted Talmudic faith in Promethean exchange for fertility, reign, and power. Like, at least in their twisted, disgusting, inverted morality, they thought they were getting something out of it. Women are just collectively killing babies to appease their egos. It's actually incomparable. One is worshiping a false god, the other is looking at themselves and playing God. Whew. But we can turn to the ancient template and look at this further, because history is not random but cyclical under the same demonic principalities that have never retired. They've only rebranded, as I've said. In the valleys of Ennom and the Tophes of Carthage, archaeological excavations have uncovered urns filled with the charred bones of thousands upon thousands of infants offered to Moloch, the same deity explicitly condemned in Leviticus 18:21, where the Lord thunders, "You shall not give any of your children to offer them to Moloch, and so profane the name of your God. I am the Lord." And in Jeremiah 32:35, where the prophet weeps that the people of Juda built the high places of Baal in the valley of the son of Hinnom to sacrifice their sons and daughters to Moloch, a practice the Bible repeatedly links to the worshipping of Baal, which is once again just a mask worn for the Dark One. A million different masks, same dark entity. Asherah or Ishtar embodied the seductive, controlling the feminine force that demanded male capitulation, exactly as the historical record and digs in Phoenician and Punic sites confirmed through dedicatory inscriptions and mass infant burials that proved these were not mere miscarriages, but deliberate ritual burnings to secure prosperity and avert calamity, even though the ultimate calamity is losing your children. And what do us slaves do in turn, knowing that these figures are at minimum symbols of child torture and death? We create statues all around the world in tribute to them, funded by the same anti-Christian sewer dwellers who go by a different name today in order to masquerade as anything other than a parasitic people with a supremacist and backwards worldview. Because we have this myth that men were so much tougher back then in this tradcon LARP, but it's actually always been a tug of war. The fathers in those days were also spineless men just like today. They had to first abdicate their masculine authority and fatherly covering, handing the reins of decision-making to the Jezebel archetype embodied in queens and priestesses who whispered that convenience and autonomy trumped covenant responsibility. By popular demand, King of Kings here will now be available as a fine art print at arthurquinley.com. The print itself is 24 by 30 inches, so it'll be my biggest print I've ever produced. It is printed on super premium William Turner watercolor paper. It's thick and archival, so it'll last you forever. The rippled effect onto the surface will allow the ink to print in such a way where it almost looks like its own painting in and of itself. But you have all inquired about this work. You've all wanted prints. You've all been interested in this image, and it is Jesus Christ returning in Revelations upon a stallion, coming back as a warrior with a beatific crown. So get it while it's hot. arthurquinley.com, click shop,